there.
Hi.
I really admire your page, and I admire the thorough research that you do. No, they're not blood clots. And what I'm about to say is going to sound really crazy, but I trust you will look into it. Look into intra-body nano network administered through VAX. Just type in those keywords. Then look into transhumanism. Then look into the Internet of Bodies. Then look into how the Internet of Bodies is going to tie into and become the foundation of this new digital financial system that's coming. And then it's all going to make sense. It is self-assembling nanotechnology for the purpose of creating a carbon nanotube network within the human body to make the human body a device that can eventually be linked into the Internet of Bodies.
Yeah.
It is biotechnology.
Human 2.0.
Created through the manipulation of lipids with polyethylene glycol pegylation. Polyethylene glycol is one of the components that can be used to make hydrogel. And after the self-assembling nano network is administered in the human body, along with nanosensors, which is what those round modulars that people are finding, the next step is a form of a chip, which will probably come in the form of like a quantum dot tattoo.
We're so close.
That will be initiated for the usage within the digital financial system that is coming. But once that chip is put in place with the intra-body nano network, that will be the authentication and individualization.
I've shown that clip from Regina Dugan in so many videos through the years. She used to be with DARPA, then became a something at Google. I can't remember what, but a high position over at Google. But they got her on stage back in 2015 talking about this very thing, about authenticating yourself by taking a pill, and you'll have your digital tattoo on you, and then you can get connected to the internet, and on and on and on. So this is all part of the plan. It's part of the end game for humanity. We know you do not take this. I haven't been taking any of this stuff anyway before it, and I hope you guys aren't either. And if you had to, I'd pray for you. I always pray for the people who have. And you should be praying for yourself, and definitely don't take any more of those things. But this final one, the big one, we know, don't do it. It completely sets you apart from the Lord, completely. The Bible tells us that. That's how serious this is. And it's so close, man. It's so, you see it forming right before your eyes. It's very close. Choose Jesus now if you don't have him.
Things are quite serious, and they're moving very quickly now. If you thought Klaus Schwab was a typecast villain, meet Regina Dugan, first female director of DARPA.
Our responsibility is to develop the technology for this. How it's ultimately used will be determined by the military.
She began her career in DARPA in the 90s, then went on to share her vision with Google, heading projects like the beginnings of Google's augmented reality business, as well as multi-touch censored smart clothing, if you didn't know that was a thing. She was also involved in a digital tattoo project that unlocked smartphones, behind the digital authentication pill. She said her work at Google was mending, quote, the mechanical mismatch between humans and electronics. That, which ushers us into the fourth industrial revolution, as we discussed last week, that prods forward the merger of human and machine. Dugan also worked at Motorola, tasked with creating the Advanced Technology and Projects Group. She told the New York Times the group was, quote, a small, lean, and agile group that is unafraid of failure. Later in her work at Facebook, she headed Building 8. Building 8 is described, quote, as invested heavily in brain-machine interface technology, which has since produced the company's neural wearable wristbands. They claim to be able to anticipate movements of the hands and fingers from brain signals alone. After her second tour as director of DARPA, Regina in 2020 landed at Wellcome Trust, co-heading it with her former colleague from DARPA, Ken Gabriel, in a position she calls the culmination of her life's work. Wellcome Trust is by its own definition the DARPA of healthcare, and only second to Bill Gates in its direct influence on world health. In 1990, the Wellcome Trust co-founded the Human Genome Project, which was the largest international project in biology over 13 years, which sequenced the 3 billion pieces of genetic information in every human cell. with deep ties to the World Economic Forum, obviously. There are 4 programs in the works at Wellcome Trust: Multi-Stage Psych, Delta Tissue, 1KD, and Hope. And we'd be hard-pressed to list them in order of nightmarish potential. This is progress.
Nobody had the necessary computing power and the necessary data to hack humanity. Even if the Soviet KGB or the Spanish Inquisition followed you around everywhere, 24 hours a day, watching everything you do, listening to everything you say, still, they didn't have the computing power and the biological knowledge necessary to make sense of what was happening inside your body and brain and to understand how you feel and what you think and what you want. But this is now changing because of 2 simultaneous revolutions. On the one hand, advances in computer science, and especially the rise of machine learning and AI, are giving us the necessary computing power. And at the same time, advances in biology, and especially in brain science, are giving us the necessary understanding, biological understanding. You can really summarize 150 years of biological research since Charles Darwin in 3 words. Organisms are algorithms. This is the big insight of the modern life sciences, that organisms, whether viruses or bananas or humans, they are really just biochemical algorithms. And we are learning how to decipher these algorithms. Now, when the 2 revolutions merge, when the infotech revolution merges with the biotech revolution, what you get is the ability to hack human beings. And maybe the most important invention for the merger of infotech and biotech is the biometric sensor that translates biochemical processes in the body and the brain into electronic signals that a computer can store and analyze. And once you have enough such biometric information and enough computing power, you can create algorithms that know me better than I know myself. And humans really don't know themselves very well. This is why algorithms have a real chance of getting to know ourselves better. We don't really know ourselves. To give an example, when I was 21, I finally realized that I was gay after living for several years in denial. And this is not exceptional. A lot of gay men live in denial for many years. They don't know something very important about themselves. Now imagine the situation in 10 or 20 years when an algorithm can tell any teenager exactly where he or she is on the gay-straight spectrum, and even how malleable this position is. The algorithm tracks your eye movements, your blood pressure, your brain activity, and tells you who you are. Now, maybe you personally wouldn't like to make use of such an algorithm. But maybe you find yourself in some boring birthday party of somebody from your class at school, and one of your friends has this wonderful idea that I've just heard about this cool new algorithm that tells you your sexual orientation, and wouldn't it be a lot of fun if everybody just takes turns testing themselves on this algorithm as everybody else is watching and commenting? What would you do? Would you just walk away? And even if you walk away, and even if you keep hiding from your classmates or from yourself, you will not be able to hide from Amazon and Alibaba and the secret police. As you surf the internet, as you watch videos or check your social feed, the algorithms will be monitoring your eye movements, your blood pressure, your brain activity, and they will know. They could tell Coca-Cola that if you want to sell this person some fuzzy, sugary drink, don't use the advertisement with the shirtless girl. Use the advertisement with the shirtless guy. You wouldn't even know that this was happening But they will know, and this information will be worth billions. Once we have algorithms that can understand me better than I understand myself, they could predict my desires, manipulate my emotions, and even take decisions on my behalf.
You will be assimilated.
I am Locutus of Borg. Resistance is futile. Your life, as it has been, is over. From this time forward, you will service us.
You will be assimilated.
Resistance is futile.
We are the Borg. Lower your shield and surrender your ships. We will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Your culture will adapt to service us. Resistance is futile.